Kevin, I want to stay with Serena, but I want to come to you about a different story that came out. So, in the press conference after she was defeated in the final, there was a question presented to her based off of a comment, and I'll read it and then tee it off to you, made by Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King stated and said, you never count her out, talking about Serena. Every time she wins one more match helps. Quite frankly, if I were Serena, I would give up being a celebrity for a year and a half. If she wants to win titles, if she wants to beat records, that's the question. I don't know what she wants. No more Met Galas, just stop all this insanity because she's trying to be everything. Then she continues on. She says she's got a baby. She's trying to help gender equity, particularly women of color. But it makes it much harder. I would like her to put everything aside because she's got people working on those things. I wish she would just make a commitment for the next year and a half to 2 years and say, I'm going to absolutely focus on what's necessary for my tennis. And Serena, in response to that, effectively said, listen, I'm not going to stop fighting for equality until I'm dead. Does it sound like shut up and dribble?
Yes, exactly where you decided to keep going is where Billie Jean should have stopped. Because she, to a degree, I feel that if she said it appears as though Serena has a lot on her plate, maybe too much on her plate, and left it at that. But when you talk about what she should and shouldn't do and should and shouldn't be in these battles, despite what Billie Jean King has done in her past, she has never and will never walk in the same shoes, fight the same battles as Serena Williams. No one would tell LeBron James to, you should really chill out on Space Jam and try to figure out how to make. Bro, he's already proven himself. The same way Serena's already proven herself. And it kind of reminded me of the conversation my dad had always had was that, you have to be extraordinary to match their ordinary, just to compete. And I feel like if she wants to be involved in these other things, let her. She's put her time in. She sacrificed her entire life to be great at this sport. She's already done that. If she wants to be involved in other things, she has the right to do so. Now, to Omar's point, has she not been competing in finals and she been getting her Venus on, with all due respect, losing in the first and second round at games she shouldn't be losing? Cool. But the woman she played her ass off throughout the whole tournament, deserved to win. Despite the fact that Serena has continued to come up short, she's still making it to the championship. So I feel like she's earned the right to do what the fuck she wants. And Billie Jean King should honestly shut up and live her own life.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me that a tennis luminary made that comment, I wouldn't have thought it would have been Billie Jean King, considering what she's also meant to the sport. But it also brings up a good point, Kevin. We were talking about this the other day with regards to Handmaid's Tale, and whatever. But I don't think that black women have the same fight that white women do when it comes to this feminist movement. Like, it's different. It's not the same struggle.
On it, brother.
Well, I mean, they want you to work and come in and be a part of their movement, but it's really so they can gain the fruits of the labor, because that stuff that they're talking about doesn't necessarily always apply.
Well, they're already ahead of the game. So if you coming in to help everybody, they're already ahead of the game. So if they're getting more and more help, we still behind.
Last in line.
So,
say her being a celebrity, like, you're completely just ignoring the fact that these are business ventures. These are she's impacting people's lives. She's not out here doing anything extreme, anything that no other athlete, specifically another male athlete, would do. So why would you hold hold her standards any different than you would for somebody else? I just think it's bullshit. But it's the same thing that's always applied to black people, specifically black women, as far back as you want to go. So I think Serena should keep doing what the fuck she wants to do.
To try and take the contrarian view,
which you are so wont to
do. Yeah. I almost feel like she had something to say and she didn't know where to land. She could have said it more eloquently, where it was, listen, if she just chills for a year and a half and get this out the way, so she can move on and get this out the way, then she can go do what she wants. This is the most important. All I'm saying is she could have had a different thought and it came out with white privilege.
She didn't have to say shit.
You understand?
And that sounds exactly like what our president does all the time.
Yeah, but we're not going to compare Billie Jean King.
No, but you're talking about she had something to say.
No, all I'm saying
and it came out this way.
Nah, it's not.
Nah, he mean what he say.
Yeah, that's real shit.
And I'm not saying she don't mean what she said. All I'm saying is, to a certain point, I almost understand. Like, get this shit out the way and then go live your life, because it can't. Because first of all, it wasn't like she just had a baby and then she was back. She had complications.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She had life-threatening complications. Like, she's had a rough time. So everything else can't be helping the game.
And then during that one tournament, she got the news that the guy who killed her sister was getting out.
Yeah, like it was a lot of things. And I think I almost understand what she said, but she said it with too much white privilege.
I think it's just
because to Omar, to your point though that you made earlier, to a degree, it does seem like in these championship matches, she isn't focused. And her greatest strength for a long time has been her emotion, her tenacity. But then when things don't go her way, it's like it consumes her. So no, I agree. It appears she's being distracted by something. But to say, stop being a celebrity, stop getting that bag, stop having an influence, that's where she lost all of us.
And the celebrity, to be clear, and this is why I would have trouble sort of trying to understand where Billie Jean was coming from. It's not like you have any control over whether you're a celebrity or not. Well, if you're a celebrity, you're a celebrity.
Also, coming from her point of view, she hid her true self for half a century. So she's someone who doesn't appreciate the limelight, because she appreciated staying in the dark.
Omar went from one side of the spectrum all the way to the other in one conversation.
Which is true.
We hitting all angles in this hour.
We might have changed the title of this show.